What's up guys, Nukin here, and I'm back with a quick news Galaxy Heroes update. So we have some Sith raid changes. So this is coming straight from the horse's mouth. CG SB Crumb, the community manager, and let's see what he has for us today. So hi Holotable Heroes. So we just got the mods 2.0 patch, yada yada yada. What this first paragraph is discussing is, well, the legendary Chewbacca was announced, and when Chewbacca arrives, all the stuff on this forum post will be arriving as well. So that's what you need to know for that. Now, the really cool important part here, mod salvage. Okay, so since mods 2.0, the devs have been discussing that they're going to put mod salvage, where you use that salvage to slice up the quality of your mods to a higher color tier, letter tier, and then you can also use some of that salvage to take a 5 gold mod to 6-star or 6 dots. Now, they were talking about putting salvage across the game, and the Sith raid was mentioned, and finally that is going to be arriving very soon. This is going to be arriving for the 2 highest tiers of the raid, tier 6 and the heroic version. So if you're in a tier 5 guild, hurry up and start grinding your hearts out. You definitely want to start acquiring some of this mod salvage and get at least to that tier 6 level. The heroic level will probably acquire, you can probably acquire a little bit more mod salvage, but the main reward of heroic is, as we all know, those juicy Darth Treya shards. Also, they talked about daily challenges. So they talked about removing gear from the tank raid and from the Sith raid that was challenge gear that we had a bunch of, thousands of, and that will also be happening in this patch. So this is very good. 2 things that are good about this. 1, we're getting more mod salvage. There are a ton of mods. People probably have hundreds of mods, and you can never have enough mods. You're always acquiring more. You will basically be slicing mods until you stop playing this game, I think, which has a long lifespan, especially with all of the Star Wars content that needs to still be made and all the future Star Wars content that is being made as we speak right now. So that's one good thing. We're getting more of that salvage. The second good thing is daily challenges. Removal of that gear from not only the Sith raid, this is also the tank raid, will allow you to progress quicker, because instead of getting a piece that you have like 4,000 of or 5,000 of or something crazy like that, you're not going to get that piece anymore, and instead you'll have a more useful gear piece, so you should start to progress quicker as well. Nihilus was very tricky, and so was Darth Treya. So they're going to be making some changes to the raid for those particular raid bosses. They're also going to be making some reductions of health across all of the tiers except heroic. So if you're doing anything tier 6 and below, the raid boss's health will be reduced, and we'll take a look at that graph in just a second. So let's look at the changes real fast. So Darth Nihilus, what's tricky about Darth Nihilus in phase 1 and 4 is that his basic attack, which would allow him to reduce the cooldowns of not only Drain Force, but also Annihilate, which is something that the actual character that we get to play with all the time does not do. So that was very tricky, and you had to kind of guess when he was going to do Annihilate or prematurely activate Unbreakable Will, and then sometimes you would do it too early, and then yeah, you've probably all been there. So that is going to be changed. The basic will no longer reduce the cooldown of either ability, which is actually a nerf compared to the actual character as is. Now also phase 3, everyone knows about the Chex Mix team. My good old pal Snake, we theory crafted way back in the day in the first like few weeks or month of the Sith raid, the Chex Mix team. Now what makes this team really annoying to run is when you get your Han Solo dazed, right? So we are going to have some changes here. So the lightsabers are no longer going to dispel or apply debuffs whatsoever when they start. So that is huge. That's such a huge nerf. you should really easily be able to start running your Chex Mix teams. We talked about reduction of health, boss health. So from tiers 1 to 6, you're going to have a reduced amount of health. So heroic, no change. It will be exactly as is. But starting from tier 6, 50% health reduction. That is a pretty significant health reduction. This should make the Sith raid feel way less grindy at those lower tiers, especially if you're a newer, sort of newer player, or maybe a mid-game player. Big time. 65% going down to tier 5, 75% just keeps going down from there, all the way up down to minus 95% health at tier 1. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: mod salvage rewards. So I actually talked to the devs and had some clarification questions, and it looks like they edited one of my questions here already on the forum post, so very nice. So tier 6 is the beginning of acquiring mod salvage. You're going to get 5 to 12 salvage in this tier, and you're going to get one of these. So originally I was asking if you were going to get all of them. You're going to get one of these. So second of all, the heroic tier, you're going to get 7 to 14. So you're going to get 2 on both the minimum and the high end salvage wise in the heroic raid, and you're going to get 1 as well for both tiers. So I wanted to make sure that that was very clear for you guys, and very very nice. Shout out to Crumb for editing it so quickly as soon as this post went live. Now everyone probably has the MK1 bonding pins and the fusion discs. Those are some of the easier nodes, or it's easier to acquire those, I should say, because they're on Cantina mod battles that require less energy. And some of these other mod salvage pieces are actually more difficult to acquire. For example, I believe this fusion coil is very difficult, one of the hardest ones to acquire. So very interesting. Also, this does not include all of the mod salvage, which is very interesting, because if you go into the mod battles and you want to grind mod salvage, there's actually more salvage in this. There's actually a piece in the guild store, so we're not getting any of the modulators, so you're gonna have to grind that from the guild store, and you're also not going to get any of the other 2 pieces that take mods up to 6 dots. So for example, it ends at the fusion coil. That is what you're going to be using to take a mod to gold, but you're not going to acquire any salvage that takes a mod to 6 dots from the Sith raid. And here's some specifics for anyone that wants to know about the removal of reward challenge gear. I actually don't really recognize everything. Okay, MK5, I think we do have a lot of those. I'm pretty sure I have thousands of these. I forgot what this one is. Forgive me. I wish I had some pictures along with that post, but it's okay. I'm happy that that's being removed from both the Sith raid and the tank raid. So very nice changes. Wanted to cover this real quick for you guys. My quick summary here is that this is good. Acquiring more, getting more places to acquire the mod salvage is great. Removal of challenge gear is great, and also making it easier for people to progress that are playing this game to get to that heroic level. It's a grind. When I first started playing this game, I did the tier 1 Rancor, and now we solo it in minutes. It's just mind-boggling, and that was just a few years ago. So they want you guys to be able to, if you're not in the heroic tier, to be able to go in and grind away, finish these raids, get to the higher tiers, and more quickly get to the highest tiers, which is going to be most beneficial, tier 6 and tier 7. 50% health reduction is huge. I think that this is very interesting that they're not getting any salvage from the mod salvage required to take mods to 6 dot here. Now that means that maybe it's better to actually use some of your energy to actually grind to get that salvage that you're not acquiring from the Sith raid. but you probably are going to still need to grind some of these other mod nodes because there are just so many mods that you get that start at blue or purple anyway, and there's just not enough Sith raids, and this is just not enough salvage. So, and you only get one of these, remember, and this would be really kind of disappointing if you keep getting MK1 bonding pins, which is probably going to happen to me because I said that. Anyways, I gotta run, guys. I have dinner cooking right now. Just wanted to do a quick little update video. Didn't even have time to turn on the camera. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you happy with some of these updates? Let me know your thoughts. Did I miss anything important? Do you have any new ideas? Any new ideas spark into your theory crafting brains? Let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to check them out. I'll see you guys all probably tomorrow for another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes video. Cheers.
The Force will be with you always.